I want to talk about manifestation. Manifestation is a vastly controversial topic, especially in the more grounded communities. Okay, the people who aren't spiritually based, who aren't religious, so on and so forth. And I'm here to tell you that manifestation is real. To the spiritual person, manifestation is you aligning your frequency, your energetic frequency, with the version of yourself who is already where you wish to be in your life. To the more grounded, rational person, manifestation is you reprogramming your subconscious GPS, your subconscious supercomputer, in order to align with the path that you need to walk down to get to where you're trying to go. Manifestation is real. No matter what you believe in, manifestation is proven. It's tried and tested. If you change this, this will change. One analogy that I like to draw personally is that manifestation is much like a movie. It's like you going to a movie theater and watching a film. In order for you to be able to watch that film, a few things have to happen. For one, there has to be a projector. The projector is source energy, if you will. The light that passes through the projector is source energy consciousness. It's where source energy becomes conscious of itself. And the film strips, which the light passes through, that is what this is right here. That is your mind. That is your subconscious belief pattern, your subconscious belief system, rather. And once you learn to alter this, because the projector and the light will always be the same, no matter what. Once you learn to alter this, once you learn to alter that film strip, the movie that you see, the projection that you see on the screen will change accordingly. Now, how do you go about manifesting the life that you desire? First of all, let me give you guys some context. Right now, I'm sitting in Signal Hill, California. I am overlooking an absolutely sensational view of the LA skyline, the downtown LA skyline, as well as the mountains and just all of these beautiful sights that I would have never been able to see when I was in my apartment in Allen, Texas. An apartment which I had manifested, much like the BMW that I had indirectly manifested, and over time realized that I didn't truly want. You see, one thing that I learned as I began to apply the methodologies that I've learned regarding manifestation is that a lot of times you don't really know what you want. And I know a lot of you won't want to hear that. And that actually contradicts a lot of the messages that you may hear from other manifestation teachers, spiritual teachers, so on and so forth. But understand this. When somebody tells you to be very intentional about what you want, they are speaking to your ego and not to your soul. Okay, now what is the difference? What does it mean to speak to your soul? Understand that everything that you desire all points back to one underlying desire. And that one underlying desire is present moment awareness. Your ego creates all of these contingencies, all of these conditions, these stipulations for you to feel present in the moment. And ironically, your ego is also the only thing that prevents you from ever actually acquiring said feeling. The only way that you can acquire that feeling is to relinquish the ego, to relinquish the identity and all of the desires that come with it. Because then what you'll realize is that the only thing you ever truly wanted was to be present. That's all you ever truly wanted. A lot of you want to fall in love. You want to find love. You're trying to manifest love, or even a specific person. What do you actually want? Because you don't want that person. You don't want that person. You want something that you feel like they can provide you. There's a feeling that you think that they can give you, but in reality, they're only giving you permission to feel a feeling which is already accessible to you in the here and now as you watch this video. What you have to understand about manifestation is that you are only ever trying to manifest present moment awareness. No matter what manifestation it is, you are manifesting present moment awareness. And the only way to actually manifest that, to catch that sunset on the horizon, to reach that mirage on the horizon in the desert of your desires, you have to relinquish your ego. You have to let go of the subconscious identity which you've constructed through years of conditioning, both external and internal, as well as your experiences, the experiences that you've went through, that you've undergone in your life that have shaped the way that you perceive yourself, and by extension, the way that you perceive the world. You see, a lot of people, they have negative perceptions of the world. They're bitter, pessimistic, resentful, so on and so forth, because they feel that way about themselves. And because they feel that way about themselves, they assume that the world should feel that way about them as well, and that everyone else should feel that way about themselves as well. This is why a lot of times when somebody genuinely loves themselves, a lot of people hate them. A lot of people resent them for it. Notice the people who are at the top as far as fame and celebrity status goes, those people, more often than not, they have at least somewhat of a deeply rooted form of self-love. If they don't, they won't be there very long. Okay, but the people who stay there for long periods of time, the people who sustain their status, those are the people who love themselves to the core because they have to. But they're also the people who typically receive the most hate or have the slimmest margin of error in terms of how they're going to utilize their platform. This is where things like cancel culture come from, is resentment, just pure resentment directed toward people's own selves and projected outward toward other people, toward the people who are fulfilling the potential that these people have not allowed themselves to fulfill in their own lives. But the only thing you need to do in order to experience that feeling, in order to fulfill all of that potential instantaneously, is to be present. That's all you ever need. Okay, so how do you go about relinquishing your ego and being present? You have to let go of your desires. This is why manifestation coaches will always tell you, you have to let go. If you ever notice, a lot of the manifestations which come to pass the quickest are the ones that you forget about. It's when you think about that car, that specific model, that specific year, in that specific color, and then you see it the next day. Or another great example is angel numbers. You're seeing 111 a lot. You're seeing 1111. You're seeing 222, 333, any repeating number or any number which holds any sort of significance to you, and you're seeing it on a regular basis. That is a prime time example of you programming this right here. You have programmed this and then let go. You've allowed the program to run. You see, when you're on a computer and you're running some sort of program in the background on the computer, the more things you're doing on that computer while that program is running, the slower the program is going to run. And in the same way, in your life, when you are constantly focused or just polluting your mind with negativity, you are slowing down the process of your own manifestation because you're holding yourself away from the present moment. You're keeping the present moment out. And you have to understand that that is your natural state of being, present moment awareness. That is why we all desire to return to it. Some of us through love, some of us through success, some of us through a combination of both. But what I found in my life, especially in these past few months, is that once you let go of the need to acquire those permission slips, they will come to you. Once you let go of them and allow yourself to be present in the here and now, you will suddenly find that you will manifest them, probably in ways which are completely irrational, not logical to your mind, to your thinking mind. But then in retrospect, they make perfect sense. For example, my girlfriend. I manifested the best relationship I've ever been in. This is the deepest love I've ever felt for anybody in my life. And me and her have been friends for 4 years. She's literally been right in front of me. She's the person with whom I have communicated the most consistently over the course of these last 4 years with. And I didn't see her. I knew she was there. I saw her, but I didn't truly see her, if that makes sense. But once I allowed myself to be present, I suddenly found that I received inclinations, gut inclinations, or intuitive feelings to maybe try to take things to the next level with her by talking on the phone, doing FaceTime calls. And then one thing leads to another. Suddenly, me and her are together and we're going strong. In the same way, I live in LA right now. Effectively speaking, I live in LA, but not only that, I don't have to pay rent. I don't have a rent payment. So not only am I living in LA, I'm financially free, because if I retired from YouTube right now, or better yet, if I only made one video a month, one sponsored video a month, not only would I be able to cover my monthly fixed expenses, I'd have enough money to put away every single month. for 2 hours of work every month, 2 hours of work per month, and I get to live in LA and be financially free. You can't make this up, man. You can't make this stuff up. I manifested this because I allowed myself to be present and to relinquish my identity as it pertains to materialism. I identified with a lot of the things which I possessed. And in that way, they possessed me. They took control of me. The BMW, the apartment, the nice clothes, the jewelry, the Gucci belt, all of that. Anything that was a display of opulence, I had to relinquish. I had to let go of it. That baggage could not come with me to LA. And there were people who told me, no, you should keep that. You should keep that. No, no, you focus on what you have. I'll focus on what I have. And I did exactly what I knew was right because I was present. When you're present, the answers reveal themselves to you. The answers reveal themselves to you before you even think to ask the question. Because questions are predicated on the illusion of a future moment in which you will maybe find the answer to that question. But in the present moment, all answers already exist simultaneously. So all questions are accounted for, hence synchronicity. This is why when you start to walk in your divine path, whatever that means to you, you'll find that the universe will support you. You'll be divinely supported in ways that you could have never possibly imagined. And it won't make sense to you. It won't make sense to the thinking mind, but you'll learn to transcend that. You'll learn to transcend that to a level where synchronicity is the only thing that makes sense. Because now you're no longer trying to control your life by scripting out what you want. You're no longer trying to control your life by doing the mirror affirmations. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm wealthy. I mean, I'm not saying that you shouldn't do those things, but do them from the place of knowing that you are those things. You're not trying to acquire anything. There is nothing that you can acquire outside of yourself which will make you any more satisfied than you can be right here, right now, because that's all you ever want. All you have to do is remove the contingencies. Let go of the need to be rich. Let go of the need to find love. Understand that you are, at your very essence, constructed of love and abundance. So these things naturally flow toward you. There's no need to try to manifest them. You are them. You are abundance. You are love. You are energy. So by understanding that and applying that into your life, you will begin to manifest supernatural blessings. Blessings beyond anything that you could have ever possibly conceived of. Because 3 months ago, when I was laying awake at night trying to figure out how I was going to pay for that BMW the next month, without selling my soul and making content that I didn't want to make, I could have never imagined what I'm doing right now. I could have never seen this, especially to this extent, being able to live in LA for cheaper than I was able to live in Dallas, where I grew up. I could have never possibly imagined this, but here I am. And as I began to relinquish that identity, that false sense of self, which kept me where I was, doors started to open up for me. Doors began to open up. I began to find good deals, for example. I was told by one of my homies out here that literally the week before I got here, the gas prices dropped substantially. Doors began to open up. And all of a sudden, I'm good. I'm home free. I'm living my dream life. I'm 22 years old. I am living my dream life. There is nothing that you could add to my life to make it any better.